Welcome to Graviteam Tactics Mius front, folks. I really like the setup for this battle. For those of you that have seen our last few German battles, we've been having a lot of fights here in Bechanov. So this time we are advancing with some armored units, some tanks, as well as some infantry. But we've got just a good old-fashioned assault plan here. Now what I'm going to try to do is actually get some units into Bechanov center. So I'll grab these guys over here. And I just want to kind of move them in this way so that we have like a secondary defensive line. In fact, we might want to move most of our units into Bechanov center, but for now, I'm just going to keep pretty much our infantry here, a few infantry, mortar, and machine gun units, pretty much. And let's begin to, of course, move forward. Now, I will grab these guys as well, and I'm going to put them right there in this dacha. Let's get started, guys. Pretty much, I am going to just push forward here with Hagel's unit. In fact, we can take Hagel separately and go ahead and push forward. Let's actually order an attack there on the edge, and we're going to order an attack with Hoffmann as well. But I'm going to do something a little different. I'm actually going to order into fast move to hopefully get into town there. And as for our infantry here, we can actually start pushing them forward. I mean, again, we are on the offensive. So let me just start trying to get into some of these dachas. Hopefully he can move quite quickly here. Best of luck, son. Go Radel. And we'll do the same with this fellow right here. You can see there's bodies here from previous battles. We've fought a lot on this territory. We're going to have to fight a little bit more. Move this guy up as well. And again, we just want to turn these dachas into firing positions. Well, as always, folks, we shall return when the battle begins. Looks like our panzers are already getting back on the road, getting into town, whereas our other panzer is advancing across the snow. Absolutely beautiful. Whoa, Hoffmann just hit a mine there on the road. That may have tracked him. That was an absolutely massive explosion. And you know what? With that, I am not going to cross the road. The road is absolutely mined. Usually we have mines out in the open here, but not on the roads typically. So I'm just going to advance with standard attacks for our tanks. Same goes for this fellow here. Oh, we're getting some gunshots. Let's see where that's coming from. I'm not seeing any targets yet. Get ready, boys. Oh, never mind. You know what that is? That's our men trying to fix the track. Yes, so we've actually got some men trying to fix that mine track. Another mine. So this area is completely mined. Every single one of our tanks being hit here. That's not something I would have expected at all. Let's hope that our engineers can actually fix this. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. Just everywhere mines, guys. Unbelievable. Alright, first contact. It's going to be in the town, and it's actually our central group here by the dachas, Radel and his men. So they're absolutely going to be performing what I think is a counterattack. Perhaps this is just their defensive locations, but we're going to get prepared, of course. We've got some defenders here, the infantry that we left here before. The question is, can they stop any advance guard? I hope so. We're getting into town. Of course, these guys are still repairing. All those mines did a number on our men, but our tank actually got all the way through. One of our tanks got all the way through, laying smoke. And we're trying to get some units, of course, into these houses. Pretty much anybody willing to follow along, including Zindel. All the rest of these guys, push them forward as well. We've got Jubel and Hagel all the way out here. Again, I'm going to try to move them, but as you can see, we're actually starting to engage some units across the snow. So we're going to have to stay put. It looks like we've got some Soviets advancing here as well. Finally, they decide to use some artillery against us. Come on, come on. Actually firing some mortars very close to our men. And you can see why. I mean, we are very close to Bechanov East, the entrance to the town. And oh my goodness, if... Oh, Hoffmann is still immobilized. Got all excited there for a second. I thought he was fixed up. Come on, men. Not moving with enough terror. We need to move faster. Get these communication boys. They might not seem like a lot, but they can certainly, you know, fight back. So I'm going to send them over here to this dacha. Got, of course, this infantry unit. We're going to send him over here as well. And the same thing with Zindel. Pretty much anybody we can spare, we are going to send into Beshanov. There we go. They're starting to fire artillery once again. Let's send this tank right into town. Here we go. I know we've got to be careful not to get ambushed, but we're getting fired at anyway here, so let's make it happen. There we go. That's where we need the artillery, and it looks like our machine guns are finally firing back. Actually firing at this location, but we can see a few enemy positions here. So they are dug in. Doesn't look like a proper trench work. It just looks like shells that they have repurposed. Nonetheless, we want to wipe those out. Nice. Look at that machine gun from the Dacha. Good old MG42 laying down some fire. But let's see if we spot any more enemies as we actually get into town with Kopp, Weissman, and the rest of these guys. Advance. I don't care if you're officers, we need every man for this push. There we go. Now the artillery is really starting in earnest. I wonder if we're going to be spotting some enemies pretty soon here. And look at that. Man, that was fast. Taking some Soviet prisoners almost immediately. They just crawled right out of that defensive position and surrendered. That's very unlikely. So I'm hoping that means they don't have much here in terms of manpower. While we're at it, these infantry units are already moving. Beautiful, beautiful. Have anyone else back here? We've got Sets. I think he's going to be moving up as well. What about the guys on this road? We got a good old MG42 on the road itself. I'm going to try to put that thing in this building so we can return fire over there. And there we go. Our tank is in town. We're actually delivering shots. He must see something we don't. Either that or they are just firing away at this poor guy. Oh, man. So our infantry are definitely engaging in combat across the way here because they're not quite able to make it in. So I'm going to order just an all-out assault there on Beshanov. I don't want anybody over here. We're going to keep Yuber's unit here just to fire, but pretty much every single one of these guys in the snow has got to move towards the town. It's going to take a while for them to get this order, but they will hopefully follow it. Gotta get into Beshanov, boys. Here we go. Look at this. Enemies directly in front of this unit. Just gotta keep our eyes open. Anybody crossing. Look at our men in the Dacha actually using it as a firing position. That's pretty awesome. But we need to actually spot the enemy to be firing, of course. See how the infantry's doing. They're dropping a ton of artillery, but it does look like our men are finally moving. Just barely, though. Well, that's Mena. I like this. Just barely making it into town. But, of course, they're being very cautious. Here we go. Officer moving across the road. Radel just got hit bad. He's okay. Strong man. We need to try to take out that officer over here in this general area. So I'm going to send one of our infantry units out there to go searching for that officer. With the rest of our men, we are just trying to advance into the rest of Beshanov. You can see we are finally making it to the outskirts of the city. Of course, now we just need to move in, take Beshanov East, the house, anything we really can here, and hopefully there won't be much resistance awaiting us. Got some more prisoners here. Look at that. Some additional Soviet prisoners. And these guys were actually behind our tank. So I think they probably saw our armor. Then they saw our men moving up as well, and they figured, yeah, this is not going to go well. There's just no way. I'll take my actual tank, start moving into Beshanov East, while the rest of the infantry just clears the town. Looks like we might be spotting some other units over here. That's something to keep an eye on. And actually, our machine gunner here is also returning fire. Yep, they're going to have an MG unit up here for sure. Look at how well dug in that thing is. It's actually an anti-tank rifle. Fire! It looks like our stationary tanks can actually do something here. Fire, fire! We can't do much about the broken tracks, but at least we can keep a consistent stream of fire down on the enemy. Feuer! It's going to have to focus on our tank moving into Peshanov for sure. That's going to have to be the main target. But I'm amazed we haven't seen any actual enemy infantry yet. There's been very few, so hopefully this is sort of their final stand. This guy completely having to take cover. And we're also heavily bombing this area now. And I mean heavily. So I'm pretty sure that has to be our artillery, unless they're just throwing everything at our one tank. It is possible, but I think unlikely. Take Peshanov, boys. Total attack. Doing a full blitz at this point. Just everybody in the sector needs to charge forward. Put the Soviets sort of on the ropes at least. And once again, close combat right here. As you can see, they are getting very close to us. As we move forward with Radel and the rest of the infantry, these are the guys we sent out to actually look for the officers. We started finding quite a few of these Soviets. Looks like they're in this sector here. Let's wipe them out. There we go. We can actually spot a few of them. Fire! Someone get a damn grenade in there. There we go. We've got two boys moving up. Getting very, very close. Dangerously close, even. We need somebody to throw a Stellhandgranate. And I believe we also took a key point. Absolutely beautiful, guys. I was hoping it was prisoners again, but key point is good. Come on, come on.
Verteidigung!
Look at that. Enemy officers ahead of us as well. Radel is spotting them too. So we're starting to actually see the enemy here in Peshanov. Of course, our tank managed to take most of it. We could go ahead, drive down the street, and just try to clear out the rest of the enemy. Let's go for it. You can actually see prisoners coming down towards the battle, towards our men. This is how desperate the situation is for the enemy. We actually have their prisoners surrendering en masse here. Now, there's still a bunch of them actually in these buildings in town. You can see our guys returning fire, but for sure they're doing sort of a final defense, trying to see if they can't hold on to the very end. Look at that grouping there. Come on, boys. Feuer!
Wir haben Ihre Befehle. Bis zur letzten Patrone. Herrgott, hilf! Feuerschutz! Feuer erwidern! Brauche Deckungsfeuer! Verdammt!
So many enemies still on the battlefield. I'm just amazed at how well they actually are defending this area. Just look at that. Over here with these homes as well. They are really trying to hold it down. We could see men in that Daka. It would be perfect if we could get an artillery strike directly on that thing. Alright, everybody's still moving forward. Look at that. Even though they're moving across the snow and the ice, they are definitely pushing forward. Zindel. Never mind. I was going to have him shoot the enemy, but I believe one of our guys already took him out. Alright, Zindel is actually getting very close here. That's the grouping of the enemy. It's going to be in the center of town there. So we want everybody to converge here and just pretty much shut them down. We're going to go ahead and order an all-out assault. Let's Mena. Go, go, go. Also got some enemies in this area we want to watch out for, but pretty much everybody is a target now. Our guys know to keep their eyes open no matter what. We're down to the Black Cauldron of hand-to-hand fighting and house-to-house fighting. It doesn't get much tougher than this. And I'm sure our men can force them out. Tank arriving as well. All right. Keep it up, guys. That's really the house I want to take out. That position, to me, is the most important one. And we've actually got guys all the way here at the forest firing there, just trying to get some kills on the Soviets defending. We got one. We got one at the window for sure, but there's plenty more. Männer. Can't stop until we take all of these positions. That includes the house. All of these areas here in front of us. Still got plenty of infantry in there, guys. Got to do something about it. That's why I've got Weissman focused here on the infantry, but I'm not sure a commander actually takes or carries a grenade with him, and that's what we need right now. We need a few grenades thrown in there, or at least a shot by a tank to take that building out once and for all. Nice, that's what we need. Machine gun consistently firing on that thing. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Fire! That is a beautiful sight. If we could just keep that up for, like, the rest of the battle entirely, we might be able to get through it pretty quickly. You can see we just pretty much mowed the enemy down in this building. They are still defending, but they are absolutely pinned, and I don't think they're going to be getting out of that pinned situation. Look at that. We're starting to see a lot more enemy infantry here. The last remnants of the Soviet force in Bechanov. It's all down to the Sturmtruppen. Can they stop the enemy threat completely? So I wonder if in Graviteam tactics, if you ever fix the tanks, or if they are simply never fixed during the battle. I'm starting to think they're actually not fixed. So here they're making a push for Peshanov. I was worried about this. We're going to have to take Radel and just go ahead and attack this way. We'll take the tank, actually, and send him over here. So we'll try to get rid of all the resistance in that sector. Still plenty of enemies in these makeshift foxholes. Now, that's not something I expected. I thought we completely wiped them out, but it is a very easy area to sort of hide in. Nice! Get them, boys, get them. So they've got a mortar position right here. It's so important that we wipe that thing out quickly. Radel is the closest unit, but for him to actually get there is just going to be way too tough. He's pretty much being kept back by the consistent enemy fire. We need to get the rest of these infantry units in that sector. There's no other way to break through. Come on now, boys. You can do this. You can do this. There we go. Our tank is laying waste to these defensive positions. Just fired at that position where we had seen some infantry before. Now we need to bring our tank around back onto the road to start firing at these bad boys. Let's make it happen. I'm going to go ahead and order him just a fast move over here. He's still taking a lot of hits. I'm not sure if an enemy has an AT gun or is just firing artillery in this general direction. I like it. I like it. Keep it up. Keep it up. This is really fighting by the inch. I can't think of a single better description of what's going on here. Go, boys. Everybody across the ice. And this entire damn place is a minefield. But we can't focus on that right now. We're too busy pushing forward. That Commissar is a badass. pretty much just hanging out there with the PPSH, shooting our guys as they go by. But we just got to make it across the snow. If we can get a kill on them, that's an added bonus. And see, this is what I'm talking about. The tank being able to look up the road. We're going to have him focus on that building specifically.
Macht sie fertig! Feuer erwidern! Sie haben Ihre Befehle!
There we go. He should be able to spot just about all the enemies here. Maybe to make sure, we'll push him up a little bit more here on an attack order. Get Radel to move forward as well. Weissmann is already moving forward. It'd be great if we just had a few more infantry units on this side, but this is what we're working with, so we've got to take what we've got.
Stirb, du Hund! Kämpf, verdammt nochmal!
Weissmann.
Kämpf!
Okay, I'm starting to see some more of those enemy trenches right there. Look at that. They might actually be leaving them. It looks like they may have gotten out of those trenches in some terror by seeing the tank. So yeah, let's keep on pushing. Okay, this is just grenades. Consistent grenades being thrown. And don't tell me that it's stuck on the Daka. Please don't tell me that. Might have to back up. We'll let him do his thing for now, but we really might have to back this tank up. Yeah, let's do a reverse, because he's gone nuts. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Use that machine gun. There we go. That's what we need him to do. We need him to do that non-stop. Of course, it's got to be on target. Just zoom out a bit. I just want to kind of see the position right now. So still, of course, those officers at Beshanov, which leads me to believe they're going to have infantry. And sure enough, look at that. They've got infantry still in these buildings. Weissmann, we need you to be a hero here. Officer Weissmann, there we go. That's what we need, a Stellhandgranate. So I guess the officers do use these. Beautiful. Yeah, it was outside of the building. That's too bad. Not the most effective throw of the grenade. At least we know we have some. Nice. Perfect machine gun fire from the actual tank on that building, guys. I think we're finally going to be wiping it out. This is what we've been waiting for. Feuer!
Stellung halten! Jetzt der Feuerschutz!
Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. So the grenades are getting ever closer, and eventually, that's what's going to happen. Beautiful shot by the tank. Right through the damn thing. Anti-personnel rounds. There's no way they're going to survive that. So I think at this point, Weissmann can get in there. Looks like we're still engaging guys over the ice by the house position. And this is, of course, the other position we are trying to take. The only other way I'll end here is if the enemy calls for a ceasefire. Now, in 5 minutes, apparently, we're carrying out an airstrike on the bridge. Let's just hope there's a lot of actual Soviets here, because we need that airstrike to be effective, and I could really use it in the center of town. But if they're going to attack the bridge, we've got to accept what High Command's going to be doing here. Vorwärts.
Bis zur letzten Patrone! Ich werde beschossen!
And again, we're going to target that Daka just like we targeted this one right here. Nobody left alive inside that damn thing. I mean, absolutely destroyed. Just one shot through, and look at that. Right through the back. Shrapnel flying everywhere. You just can't survive a hit like that. It's not going to happen. No prisoners! Especially in a situation like this, there would be no time, absolutely no time at all to take prisoners. This would be a fight to the death. So another reason to take the bridge would be we would cut them off from any escape at Beshanov, and I hear planes. Oh yeah, we've got some planes in the sky, guys. Look at that. The Soviet Air Force has arrived. Let's see what they're going to do. Oh boy, we might have Stukas. Tell me those aren't Stukas. It's awfully close to our men. It's also awfully close to theirs. I'm certain those have to be our planes, right? They have to be our planes. They have to be Stukas. Yeah, I think we've definitely got some Stukas attacking, which is beautiful. Nice dive bomb attack here, and they're going to carry out another one, hopefully, on this Beshanov area. They're also carrying out attacks over here, maybe enemies we can't actually see. Here we go, another dive bomb attack, hopefully directly on that house. And at least they're engaging some enemy units in this sector, in this vicinity, but I wish they were attacking these guys. So let's just push directly to the barn and the house, guys, with the rest of the infantry here. And look at that, we're already spotting additional units, additional enemy units here. Kill that Daka. Throw the damn grenade! Please tell me Weissman has a grenade. Yes, he does. Beautiful. Now let's see if he actually gets it on target. Pretty close. That was pretty close. We really need the Stukas to be attacking that central point, but unfortunately we can't really order where they attack. This would be a perfect area, though. I'm guessing they have a lot of units back here retreating, or potentially even just units defending the area back here near Peshanov East. The last thing we need is for them to retake the location, so I think maybe our guys have an idea here. Unfortunately, they have not used much of their bombs, almost at all. They dropped one big one. Besides that, we haven't gotten much in the way of air support. Don't be shy, boys. Don't be shy. Drop those bombs. This would be an especially important time to take the house location. Of course, we've got the Panzer moving up on it quickly, but it would also just be nice to reveal some additional enemy units and wipe them out immediately. That's going to be it for our planes, man. That was not... a bit anticlimactic. Usually, the Stukas do a lot more, but, you know, it's hard to see exactly where the enemy is on this battlefield. Even their officers kind of running out here in panic. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe they know what they're doing. There we go, we got some bombs. No idea. Okay, they dropped it at the bridge. Interesting. So let's hope there are actually some units over here. There very well might be. That's where the attack was called in by our spotter. Sometimes you gotta trust your spotter. It might not be the brightest guy in the world. But in this case, that's where the spotter called the plane. So I guess assuming that the enemy would be retreating there. It's a fair assumption. We are nearly at the house area, guys. I do still see some enemy infantry here. Look at that. Still so many infantry in the center of town. The bombing didn't really do much. Of course, they only seemed to spot that one target. But you could just see how these guys are absolutely still fighting back. They've got positions here. They're not giving up easily. Gotta get some Stellhandgranates in there. And look at that. We've actually found some of the enemy MGs. 2 MGs hidden in this area in front of the house. We've at least taken the house location. That's pretty great. So I'm hoping the enemy is going to ask for that ceasefire any time now. Both of these machine gunners are taking cover. I don't think they're going to be doing much in terms of resistance. Come on, come on.
Stellung! MG Feuer! Stellung!
Even with this area completely bombed out, we do still have some Soviets in there. Look at that, right in front of the house. But that's what our Stuka was able to do. So still managed to take out an important enemy position without a doubt. And look at that, we got some enemies actually approaching over the snow. This is exactly what I don't want to happen. Return fire, Hegel. Like, anybody that can, return fire at once. They're trying to retake the house, for sure. There we go. Good shooting, boys. Good shot. Yeah, we've absolutely stopped them in their tracks here, but I don't want to lose the house. I feel like at this point, we almost entirely control the city of Beshanov, like, just completely. All we really need to do is take that bridge. Maybe that's why the AI was prioritizing the bridge. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We got some close combat. Come on, Grau, sehr gut. Grau killed one of the defenders there with a good swift kick. But we still have this group right here, of course, close to Beshanov. I wish the enemy would offer a ceasefire, but this is one of those battles where they just think they can keep on fighting. And with this smoke popping over here, they might have, you know, an additional group of attackers. So I'm actually going to take this tank and go take a look over by the barn. He can make a huge difference, but it's amazing that these guys just aren't giving up. They refuse to surrender the fight. Come on. It's looking really good in terms of the actual land we have, but not being able to get rid of this infantry is frustrating, to say the least. Oh, we can actually see the shots coming from there. Yeah, be careful, boys. Be very careful. Our tanks are already scanning the horizon, looking for enemy targets. We know for sure they're going to have a group here just because of all that smoke being popped up. But I'm not sure where they're going to be. They could be over here. They could be over here. It's really hard to say. Get that Soviet. Get that Soviet, men. We'll let our guys deal with it. They either sink or swim here. Come on, he's right in front of you. He's right in front of you. Good shot. Finally. I think Hegel got him. Good shot, Hegel, there with the Luger. Just an officer firing his pistol, but that seemed to work out. He seems to have his nerves, which is wonderful. And that's it, guys. I mean, look at all this control. We've pushed in. I mean, what a tough push for such a... I want to say lightly defended. I know it's not lightly defended, but, you know, it's not the heaviest defense we've seen, and they have managed to hold for ages. Now our tank is even spotting some infantry at a distance. This is exactly what we were looking for, is whoever's causing this smoke to pop up. So let's actually set the tank up right there. Just have him look forward and inspect the area ahead of him. That's really all I want him to do. If we see any enemies moving over here, we'll be ready for them.
Russen kommen!
We really need this guy moving forward at the very least. But I'm starting to see, look at that. Look at the group of enemies just in that building alone. Not seeing anything with our tank, but there should be an infantry group down here. So it could simply be a distance issue. You can see we're actually being targeted by the enemy. Far away, far away. What do we got over here? Let's take a look. Did they fix the tanks? No way. Absolutely no way. Oh, they did. We've got our tanks back, guys. This is beautiful. We'll be sending this fellow right there. And Hoffman, without me even realizing, is also moving up. Look at that. We have now found some Soviets, additional Soviet forces all over the damn place. And this is exactly where I thought they would be. Over here by the barn. Look at that. We've got a perfect target. Just stay put and return fire, guys. Beautiful. Look at that. A whole nother group over here. We're just going to bring all of our armor to bear, hopefully. And just continue to fire here. Get rid of all of these units. I think we've completely covered Peshanov. I'm sure there's still work to be done, but this is a great start. Oh, you need to head back out now, son. Taking a look at Radel and his buddies. Of course, our men have not taken this city without casualties. It's been a rough day. A very rough day. But if we come out with a victory, that's beautiful. And there we go. Enemy is asking for that ceasefire. I don't think I'm going to provide them that ceasefire just yet because I want to look for some more infantry units to take out. And we know they have a nice collection of units right here. Potentially, we could even get some prisoners. Now, it looks like one of our tanks may have hit a mine. And let me just say, in terms of the enemy's ability to stop our tanks with mines, it's been pretty amazing, I must say, during this this battle. Like, really amazing. Every single one of their mines seems to have immediately stopped our tanks. That's not usually how it happens. You know, usually you got to hit a few of them. The first one's not necessarily going to pop the tracks. But here, every single one of them has popped the tracks on the first try. Get that officer. Offizierin. Alright, it continues, it continues. Still so many Soviets here. Of course, we can't be looking out of each side. That's just not going to happen. But taking the barn would be a nice additional boost here, I think, to our morale. But yeah, it's come down to the point where they have ground us down to a nub. We have managed to break through, but if we're looking at the actual map here, we can see that our men have taken pretty heavy losses. Everybody is essentially now in the eastern part of town, and a lot of men lost, of course. Let's just take a look, like, crossing the snow here. How many men we lost. We got one dead there. Seems like over here, actually, we were over okay. I think it's actually once we hit the town where we started, yeah, dealing with massive casualties. Not even massive, just, you know, the occasional guy get killed here left and right. It is what it is. So I think we'll go ahead, we'll accept that ceasefire. We've pretty much taken over the area. We've taken over the barn as well. This is pretty crazy. The only other thing we could do is try and take that bridge. And look at this. Oh, boy. Actually got an enemy AT gun right there. It'd be nice to take it out. You know what? Since we've got this tank over here, let's go for it. Fire, fire. Come on, come on. It's right there. It's right in front of us. Good shot! Oh, I'm so glad that we got to spot that. That was awesome. Still got that barn, and it looks like a few more Soviet prisoners. I think after watching that tank's epic shooting skills, these guys just decided, yeah, it's best for us to surrender here. We are not going to win anything continuing to fight this position. Looks like they even tried to reman that AT gun. That's pretty incredible that there are still a few guys alive and capable of remanning that weapon. What do we got over here? What do we got over here? I'm amazed the enemy has not called it quits and retreated. That is amazing. But look at this. Once again, they still have quite a few of these groups in these foxholes. I'm so glad that we actually spotted them because, of course, now we've got full reign to just decimate these areas. We're going to just keep inspecting this part of the field. Again, I'm not going to take the ceasefire when we have a lot of enemies to root out. Don't like that officer there one bit. I'm not sure Grau can do much about this. Come on, Grau. This is, of course, a nice, concentrated enemy artillery barrage. I think they're trying to just get us out of the central part of the town here, which really leads me to believe that this is going to be their final strong point, at least in the town. It's going to be these houses. Let's see over here. Come on, boys. Come on. Still so many enemies in this general area. So I'm going to take our tank and just push forward. You know what, now that we've got Hoffmann here, we're going to do the same with him. So we'll take him, just push forward, and this is exactly what we want, engaging the enemy. Of course, we were sending Hoffmann to take the bridge. Maybe we should keep him on that mission. I don't know. Really do want to get some additional firepower on the dug-in units here. Look at that, more prisoners. Just prisoners all over the damn place. At this point, the prisoner is actually just following our tank. And you can see that is knee-deep snow. I didn't realize, but this is quite deep, this stuff. Which probably made our movement, really slowed down our movement quite a lot. I'm guessing that had to be the reason. You okay, Franz? I think he's okay. I think he's okay. You can see units like Grau and Radel are pretty much done with fighting. I don't think we're going to succeed in getting them to attack anything after that push. I mean, you can just see how we pretty much destroyed the town just to get in. I almost feel like we were a ship just crashing into the side of that town. That's almost exactly what happened. And I'm starting to see 1, 2, 3, a bunch of different positions of potential enemy units here. We've got to keep our eyes open, of course, but I think we also have to accept that ceasefire, because they could quite easily retake this position. Almost certainly retake this position. They did manage to actually take out one of our tanks. Quite an amazing feat. Hopefully, we won't allow them to do that again, but it is showing us that they do have some anti-tank weapons, some anti-tank capabilities. That's right, boys. Keep them, light them up, light them up. All mortars here. I want to take that out very quickly. Those machine guns are not being as accurate as I'd like them to be. There we go. That's a little more on target. Alright, guys, I think that's going to be all the fighting for now. We could likely continue. It would take a lot longer to push through, but I'm going to accept that ceasefire from the enemy. We've got everything we need, essentially. We are allowing them to escape from the bridge, and look at that. We're taking additional prisoners. Absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a minor victory. 17 killed on our side, 70 heavily wounded, 40 killed on the enemy side, and 31 heavily wounded. Very, very interesting casualty count. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks so much, guys.